Absent. Alderman Shipp. Absent. Alderman Geenan.
Right here.
Alderman Clark.
Here.
Alderman Mayberry.
Here.
Mayor Tomes.
Here.
You have a quorum.
Thank you. I would also like to then insert here, but Alderman Parker is going to be on the phone, and so we need a vote on that. So Alderman Parker notified the city through the city clerk, Judith Gilbert, that he would not be physically present for the meeting tonight due to work commitments out of town, and made a request to participate remotely per city ordinance. Do I have a motion to allow Alderman Parker to participate in the city council meeting remotely?
So move.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you.
We're working on trying to get audio for Dylan to come in. It's saying he's
There?
he's having
I'm
some
getting
issues.
a signal here that I think he's there.
I'm here. Can you hear me?
There he is.
Alderman Parker's there. Okay, very good.
Very good. Okay, should do the Pledge of Allegiance and a moment of silence, please. Thank you very much. Okay, item number 5.
Minutes of the September 24th, 2018 meeting.
Motion to approve the minutes as printed.
Second.
Moved in second. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Oh, I got to remember the delay here for Dave. Dylan. Okay, thank you. All right, item number 6.
Minutes of the executive session of September 24th, 2018.
Motion to approve the executive session minutes.
Second.
Moved in second. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Carries. We have update Rock Island. So we have Thursday Night Groove Concert Series. The Thursday Night Groove Concert Series continues at Schreiber Riverfront Park on Thursday, October 11th, 2018, with local band Smooth Groove. Event is open from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Vendors will be on tap for food and drink, so come out and enjoy the fall night on the river. Guests are encouraged to bring lawn chairs. For more information, please call 309-732-7275. Also on Thursday night, Rock Island Unplug. Please join city leaders and the department directors as they organize the first ever Rock Island Unplugged on Thursday, October 11th, 2018 at the establishment located at 220 19th Street in Rock Island. This is an informal yet structured event to have an open dialogue with city officials on city happenings. Hors d'oeuvres, non-alcoholic beverages, and a cash bar will be available for those that attend. The event is scheduled to start at 6 and go till 8. So we do have, if you want music, go to Schreiber. If you want to talk about city issues, come to the establishment. Unfortunately, it's the same night, just about the same time. So we apologize for that, trying to get everything in. Free leaf bag collection. The city of Rock Island is providing free leaf collection for its residential garbage customers starting now through Friday, December 7th, 2018. Customers must place the leaves in the approved paper yard waste bags and place them at the normal garbage collection location and days. Free leaf bags may be picked up starting at various locations throughout the city. Please visit www.rigov.org for more information. Thank you. Then we have number 8.
Presentation of the Rain and Community Gardens Awards.
So let me first start with explanation a little bit about this in the rain gardens. The city's beautification commission began the best rain. We're doing the rain gardens first, correct?
Yep.
Okay. The Best Rain Garden Awards program 13 years ago to recognize the efforts made by citizens in creating and maintaining rain gardens through the city's Rain Garden for Rock Island program. Rain gardens are shallow depressions planted with perennial plants that are located near a downspout or an area that sheds noticeable amounts of rainwater. Rain gardens provide beneficial functions that include reducing storm water runoff, flooding, absorption of pollutants, and sustaining natural wildlife. The Beautification Commission is recognizing 3 gardens this year. The names of the winners will be read, and we'll do a little photo op and shown on the screen. Those present should come up as their names are called to receive their certificates. And we ask that the recipients remain up here for a photo. So with that, we have Todd Linscott. Todd's here. Joe and Marianne Dockery Jackson. Number 2. And then we have Longfellow School, Principal Dave Nucky. Is Dave here? I don't know if Dave, there he is. Known him for a while. Come on up. Yes, thank you very, very much. Appreciate that. Helps the environment. Wonderful program. There we go. Come on in for a picture. We can do it all as a big group or
Yeah,
do it individually.
all right,
Get them closer here. Hang on, hang on. There we go.
all right. Looking good. 1, 2, 3. One more time. Perfect.
One more picture. 2 or 3 here.
Easier this way. 1, 2, 3. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody, for everybody's effort in helping. Yeah, okay, so I take my time here. All right. Now we talk about the community garden. And so we have the City's Beautification Commission began recognizing community gardens 8 years ago to express appreciation for the role they play in beautifying the community. Community gardens are tended by service organizations, churches, schools, families, and individuals. They are placed for citizens to grow crops for the hungry and for the use at home. The Beautification Commission is recognizing all city-owned community gardens which have beautified, otherwise vacant lots by making them productive. The names of the gardens will be read. We'll read the names. We'd like you to have come forward, and if you could stay up here for a photo. We'll show the gardens on the screens, so we'll try to go through that. I'm going to try to pronounce most of these names, or all of the names. Unfortunately, if I do mispronounce your name, I apologize. Some are a little difficult for me. So, but number 4 is Father Samuel Lynn. And number 5 is Dina Nimbona. He's here? Come on up. You get to stand up here the longest. Come on in. Number 6, Stiri Nadiri Nana. Yamana. We'll get some photos. Number 7, Hamalima Havermana. Okay.
Yeah, she was
All right. You might be the only one. I don't know, but there's a few others here. Number 8. Clavier Nasaba Imana. You can help read it, but you should be reading these instead of me. You want to read them? Come on up.
You can read them off of this list.
Yeah. Come on up. That's fine.
Here.
This is a first.
You could
Why don't you read right there at the podium? Here's the list.
I can stand.
You stay at the podium and do it. That's fine. Yeah. Thank you. I apologize.
I wanted to ask, but I wasn't sure, so. Okay, what is a quick cover?
Number 9, I think.
Yep. Mikaeli Ndihiyabandi. Mikaeli Ndihiyabandi. I think not here. Elizabeth Ndikumana. Oh, at work. Not here. Irakoze Aritemo. Not here. Work. Serafine Avignon. Serafine nini? Not here. Leah Nzoi Nzima.
Where are we at here?
And this is 13. Number 13, Leah.
See? Even he's struggling with it.
Wait, by the way. There are 2 layers, I think, so she's not the one. 14, Domitira Niyingundi.
Fine.
She's pleasant. Uzengahi mbele?
No, not.
15. Yeah, that was 14 years.
Yeah, not of these, I guess.
Uzenga. Mubafotorera amafoto. Mugongo.
Come on up.
I got this one. This is the right one.
Domitila, yes. Number 15, Priscilla Banghundie. She's present. 15. 16, Françoise Zorijana.
Don't go too fast. We've got to pass these out, okay? Let's see. The right one. Is this you?
And 17 is Two Rivers YMCA, Jeff Cornelius. Number 18, Alphonsine Nitegeka. (19) Denise Newhill.
Push.
20, Justine Ngendahimana. 21, Alain Nyiranhole. 22, Antoinette Bukuru Erike Sinzo Bakwira. That's 2 of them present. 23, Leah Zeimana. 24, Hagai Rugagava. Not present. And 25, Diane Johnson. Okay.
And can you translate
Oh, yeah.
Okay, sure. So on behalf of you were trying to say from, on behalf of the city of the Rock Island, we want to thank you for the contribution that you make to our city.
Ati ku bw'umujyi wa Rock Island aha hantu ngo bagombye kubashimira ngo ku bikorwa mukora mufasha uyu mujyi wa Rock Island.
From the photos that we saw online of the beautiful gardens that you had and the produce that you produced,
Ati guhera ku mafoto yaravye ku mirima yanyu bayibonye kuri online ngo yari ibereye ngo n'ibintu byo mwakoze ibiterwa mwakuyemo by'ivimburwa byari bibereye.
and what might sound strange for you to coming to a bunch of us in suits on a Monday night,
Ati kandi bishobora kumvikana yuko bitoroshe cyangwa bimeze ukundi kuba mwoza ngaha kuwa mbere ku mugoroba mw'ijoro muri twebwe twambaye amasuti mukaza mu nama.
but what you're telling all of the suits behind you is that you are an asset to this community. We are glad that you are here and continue to make that positive impact you have in the lives of your family and what makes this city great. So thank you.
Ati ibyo mubwira mwaba bantu bose bari nyuma yanyu b'amasuti mwamubwira yuko muri ngaha mufise akamaro, mufise ibintu byinshi mushoboye gukora mugafasha umujyi ukagenda neza. Ati rero nabo bararyohewe ko baba bafise muri abantu mushoboye gukora muteza imbere umujyi w'ahantu.
Get everybody in? I don't. Hang on here.
Oh, sorry.
Hop in behind us, or there's room there either way. Yep, there you go. Yeah, right in between. All right. Got it, Vince?
Thank you.
Next year you have to bring food. Bring the vegetables next year.
All right.
They got questions? We can ask it now if you want. Yep.
Ati mubaze ibibazo afise ibibazo.
Okay, tuanze kwicara ubwo ngo.
Mwicare mubaze nako. So you want me to stay here?
Yes, that's fine. If you would stay there and just ask the
It's a
question.
big group, so it's better if I. Thank you.
There's a couple of some questions.
They did say they have questions, so. You want them to go ahead or later?
No, go ahead now.
Ufise ikibazo ngo yobaze. Her question is, this year, the outcome of their gardens weren't as they wanted them to, and the problem was water. They didn't have water when they needed water, so they are asking if there's a way maybe the city would help, like get them water when they need water to water the gardens.
You know which garden number that was?
Ati umurima yari namba ya kangahe?
We had talked.
Number 18.
Yeah, and we had talked about this in the planning of the garden last year and trying to find creative solutions of some trucking companies that could fill up some water cisterns. So that was in the process, and now that we know of again, we will make sure something will happen next year.
Okay. Bavuze ati cyo kibazo kiramaze kuza ati baracumvise ati baragize imisi bacicarira barabingene bo bigira ati none ko gisubiye kuza n'ubundi bazogerageza barabe ingene hazoboneka amazi yazarafashe. Okay. He was adding on the same thing, saying that it is a very big issue for them. So if they can really have water, even if they have to pay, maybe if a bill can come, as long as they can get water and water the gardens, then they can pay the bill if that's needed.
And I will tell you that that has been conveyed to staff, and we'll make sure it will happen next year.
avuze ati rero icyo ni mureme nk'uko bavuga ati bamaze kuvugana bakaraba ivyo bizoshoboka bazogerageza ku mwaka uza kizobe cyazi ico kibazo. Thank you.
Thank you. Oh, is there another question?
She had one more question, I think.
Okay, that's fine.
Haguruka ubaze. And she thanked God and she thanked all of you for giving him appreciation. Because the work we do here, we used to do them even back home, so we do it with love. We love what we do. So they enjoy doing it, but when they don't have water to water that, it kind of is very frustrating. She said she wanted to stress that, like her friends said, that if they have water, it will be very helpful. She said, thank you very much for all this you're doing for us.
Yeah. We will come up with a plan to have water for you next year.
Ati bazozana n'umugambi kugira ku mwaka uza babahe amazi.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
That's it, yeah.
Thank you. Appreciate you.
You're welcome. And I'll just translate. Whatever you say now, I'm going to translate as a group. I don't know if they're done. Is that all?
I think we're done. I think we're done. I think we're done.
Okay, good. Ndibaza biraheze ku ruhande rw'uwanyu. Mugama shoko kwicara mukumviza ibibandanye.
Translate the whole night to it. No.
We have engaged in citizens who want water. We will get them water.
Excellent.
That's
All
it.
right. We are on item number 9.
An ordinance amending Chapter 15, Article 4, Sections 15-54B and 15-65B relating to late payment penalties, second reading.
Pass the ordinance.
Second.
Moved in second. Any discussion? You there, Dylan?
I am.
Okay.
No discussion from me.
All right. No, it's fine. Roll call, please.
Alderman Spargattis.
Yes.
Parker.
Aye.
Shipp.
Aye.
Geenan.
Aye.
Clark.
Aye.
Mayberry.
Aye.
6 ayes, no nays. Motion carried.
Item number 10.
A special ordinance amending a zoning district and zoning map at 2321, 2325, and 2327 7th Avenue.
Motion to consider suspend the rules, pass the ordinance.
Second.
Okay. Move second. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Alderman Spargattis.
Yes.
Parker.
Aye.
Shipp.
Aye.
Geenan.
Aye.
Clark.
Aye.
Mayberry.
Aye.
6 ayes, no nays. Motion carried.
Item 11.
Claims. I'll read A and B first. A, report from the Human Resources Department regarding payment in the amount of $13,459.29 to David Morrison of Rock Island, Illinois, for legal services rendered from June 29, 2018 through September 27, 2018. And B, report from the Public Works Department regarding payment number 2 in the amount of $27,920.33 to Crafton Railroad Company of Andalusia, Illinois, for the Southwest Railroad Spur Repairs Project for services provided from September 5th, 2018 through September 21st, 2018.
Motion to accept the reports and authorize payments as recommended. Claims items to A and B.
Second.
Moved in second. Any discussion? Hearing none. Roll call.
Alderman Spargattis.
Yes.
Parker.
Aye.
Shipp.
Aye.
Keenan.
Aye.
Clark.
Aye.
Mayberry.
Aye.
6 ayes, no nays. Motion carried. C, report from the Public Works Department regarding payment number 12 in the amount of $1,133,994.19 to Civil Constructors Incorporated of East Moline, Illinois for the water filtration facility project for services provided from August 27, 2018 through September 30th, 2018.
Move to accept the reports and authorize payment as recommended.
Second.
Moved in second. Any discussion?
Due to the nature of my employment, I will be recusing myself from this vote.
Okay. Roll call, please.
Alderman Spargattis.
Yes.
Shipp. Keenan.
Aye.
Clark.
Aye.
Mayberry.
Aye.
5 ayes, no nays. Motion carried.
Item 12.
Claims for the weeks of September 21st through September 27th in the amount of $1,140,229.34, and September 28th through October 4th in the amount of $186,287.44, and payroll for the weeks of August 27th through September 9th in the amount of $1,477,080.69, and payroll for the weeks of September 10th through September 23rd in the amount of $1,477,157.25.
Move to allow the claims and the payroll.
Second.
Moved in second. Any discussion? Roll call.
Alderman Spargattis.
Yes.
Parker.
Aye.
Shipp.
Aye.
Keenan.
Aye.
Clark.
Aye.
Mayberry.
Aye.
6 ayes, no nays. Motion carried.
Item 13.
Report from the Human Resources Department regarding the on-the-record proposal agreement between the city and the AFSCME-A bargaining unit through December 31st, 2019.
Motion to approve the agreement as recommended. Authorize the city manager to sign the agreement.
Second.
Moved in second. Any discussion?
Mayor, I will be abstaining from this vote.
Okay. Roll call, please.
Alderman Spargattis.
Yes.
Parker.
Aye.
Keenan.
Aye.
Clark.
Aye.
Mayberry.
Aye.
5 ayes, no nays. Motion carried.
Item 14.
Report from the Community and Economic Development Department regarding a special ordinance authorizing the acceptance of property from Navistar International Harvester Transportation Corporation pursuant to an agreement entered into on March 9, 1988.
Move to accept the property as recommended and consider suspend the rules and pass the ordinance.
Second.
Moved in second. Any discussion? Roll call.
Alderman Spargattis.
Yes.
Parker.
Aye.
Shipp.
Aye.
Keenan.
Aye.
Clark.
Aye.
Mayberry.
Aye.
6 ayes, no nays. Motion carried.
Item 15.
Report from the Finance Department regarding an adjustment to the calendar year 2018 budget, recommending an increase in the general fund public works budget in the amount of $15,000.
Motion to approve the budget adjustment as recommended.
Second.
Moved in second. Any discussion? Roll call.
Alderman Spargattis.
Yes.
Parker.
Aye.
Aye.
Keenan.
Aye.
Clark.
Aye.
Mayberry.
Aye.
6 ayes, no nays. Motion carried.
Item 16.
Report from the Community and Economic Development Department regarding a request from John Keim of Huckleberry's Pizza to allow a portable freestanding sign in the public right-of-way at 223 18th Street.
Move to approve the sign request as recommended, subject to providing adequate liability insurance for $1 million, holding the city harmless in liability issues.
Second.
Moved in second. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed?
No.
Motion carries. Item 17.
And with regard to items 17, 18, and 19, we're going to run into the same issue of they do the studies and they recommend against certain items that don't meet the requirements of the for traffic control devices. So in the event that City Council wishes to go the opposite direction, I would just ask that you add and refer to the City Attorney for the ordinance if you're going to approve those requests.
Okay.
And those are for items 17, 18, and 19.
Okay, item 17.
Report from the Traffic Engineering Committee regarding a request from Doug Woodford for the installation of speed limit signs and three-way stop signs on 4th Street with its intersection with 5th Street.
Motion to move with the request as recommended and refer to the attorney for slight modification. Is that what you're looking for?
Ordinance.
I guess I think the appropriate motion might be a motion to approve the request as recommended and refer to the City Attorney for an ordinance.
Motion to approve the request as recommended and refer to the city attorney for ordinance.
Second.
Dave, just for clarification, so the
Do we want to have a second to? Oh, you're
sorry, second. I'll second that. So the recommendation is to deny.
Right.
So would the motion be to approve the request?
Yeah, as made. The request as
made.
made, correct. And if
Okay.
I said as recommended, I misspoke. That would be my
Yep.
my misstatement. But yes, if they're going to approve the traffic control devices, I think the appropriate motion would be motion to approve the request as made and refer to the City Attorney for an ordinance.
So I'll remove my second so we can remake that motion. Would you like to modify your motion?
You might as well make it.
Okay. So I will make the motion. Do you remove yours?
I'll remove my
Okay.
motion.
I'll make the motion then to approve the request as made and refer to the city attorney for an ordinance.
Second.
Moved in second. Discussion. People understand what we're voting on?
No, Mr. Mayor. It says a three-way stop sign on 4th Street with its intersection at 5th Street. How can that be? 4th and 5th Street go the same direction, so how can they intersect? And I seen that too, but for the people out here, that makes no sense whatsoever. So can we put it up on the screen or whatever so people understand?
Yes, I think so. He's working on it,
Okay.
I think. I'm not driving that bus.
There it is.
Okay, okay. So that shows kind of how they come
Intersect
to a
is a-
V, right, okay.
And I think as is the case with these requests, Traffic Engineering Committee looks at this. It doesn't meet the minimum standards and has been consistent practice on the council that if we have residents in the area, and as we can see, there was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 residents, 8 of whom were on 4th or live on 4th and 2 on 6th, are all in agreement with Mr. Woodford's petition for the request as made. And so that's why I'm joining with Alderman Geenan to support that request.
I have a question. The request was for a three-way stop. So, and that's indicated on the map where the red dot is. It doesn't make a lot of sense to me to have a three-way stop when a two-way stop would seem to suffice, although I'm willing to hear from any of the residents if they're here. I would think there's already a yield sign which would be removed on 5th Street where it approaches the V at 4th Street. And I would think you would need a stop sign there and a stop sign to the west of that on 4th Street, so you'd have the two legs coming down to the point stop, and the long run of 4th Street coming from the south towards the north have the right-of-way. But that was something that I hadn't heard discussed at all, and I wanted to bring it up to see if that made any sense to anybody why you'd want a three-way stop when a two-way stop would suffice. Also, there was a request for speed limit signs included. I didn't see anything about that other than the fact that traffic and engineering denied the request in general, I guess. There is a 15-mile-an-hour speed limit sign on the north side of that triangle at 39th Avenue and 5th Street. It's one sign post with 15-mile-an-hour posted on both sides of the post at that intersection of 5th and 39th, just so people know that it's there. It's not indicated on the map.
Is there any further discussion? Or anybody you want to respond to the alderman?
Was there anybody from the neighborhood here? The requesters? Okay.
No.
So James, am I clear? You feel that there should only be 2 stop signs there instead of 3?
That's my inclination, yes.
But obviously, the motion right now is for 3.
Mm-hmm. Can we call the vote?
Come. No discussion. We'll call the vote.
No.
1 second, please.
Yep, that's fine.
Okay. Alderman Spargettis.
No.
Parker.
Aye.
Shipp.
Aye.
Aye.
Clark.
Aye.
Mayberry.
No.
4 ayes, 2 nays, motion carried.
Thank you. Item 18.
Report from the Traffic Engineering Committee regarding a request from Constance Dickens for the installation of 4-way stop signs on 14th Street at its intersection with 16th Avenue.
Move to approve the request as made and authorize the city manager to
And refer,
City attorney.
city
refer
attorney
to the city attorney for an
refer to the
ordinance.
city attorney for ordinance.
Second.
Moved in second. Is there any discussion? Roll call.
Alderman Spargattis.
Yes.
Parker.
Aye.
Shipp.
Aye.
Enan.
Aye.
Clark.
Aye.
Mayberry.
Aye.
6 ayes, no nays, motion carried.
Pretty soon, we're going to have a stop sign at every intersection of the city here, that's for sure.
Slow
Man.
down speeding somehow.
Okay.
But 19.
Report from the Traffic Engineering Committee regarding a request from Linda Sargent of Heart of Hope Ministries for the installation of 4-way stop signs on 19th Street with its intersection with 9th Avenue.
Motion to approve the request as recommended and refer to the city attorney for
Second.
Is made.
Request is made.
Is made.
Request is made. Not
request is made.
Heard Dylan second it.
Gotta love them.
Okay, any discussion?
So typically, I'm very sympathetic to these requests. The one thing I see missing from this packet, though, that I require for my support from my ward and someone else's ward who's made the effort, as we saw in the past, too, both had petitions with, I think, a sufficient number of signatures on there of homeowners, residents in the neighborhood. Was that omitted from this packet, or was there not one done for this effort here?
I don't see Pastor Linda out there.
And I say all that to say I don't want to end up voting against this. I would prefer a table and make sure that there's sufficient support in the neighborhood.
Understood. Because of the incident behind the request, the petition was not required for this particular one.
Okay. Could you kind of elaborate for the public here on that?
Sure. So the Heart of Hope Ministries, they have a food pantry. They get quite a bit of business during the evening times. On one particular evening, a family was crossing the street on 9th Avenue. A child, I believe, was standing just on the side of the vehicle. Traveling motorists passing by. Stop sign a block prior to and stop sign a block later. From what I understand, it's caught the edge of the child's foot that eventually had to be amputated. So, I mean, very horrible situation. But again, we went through the standard protocol for the engineering study.
Not only do they have food pantries twice a week, they have clothes giveaway, they have after-school programming for youth. They are just becoming a center hub in that area. So if she wants a stop sign, Linda gets a stop sign.
I understand. And, you know, and we're willing to go to the petition and ask the neighbors if that's what's so desired.
Yeah,
I would like to echo what Alderman Shipp said in terms of wanting to see more than one person be requesting this. A petition would be appropriate from either the neighborhood residents around that intersection or the people who are patronizing Hope of, what is it, Hope?
Heart of Hope.
Heart of Hope Ministries food pantry, so that we know that there's more than just one individual who's requesting this. Also, there was a mention of the accident where a child had their foot run over and then it had to be amputated. Do we have any more information, like a police report on that? Was if there was anybody charged, or was it, was the child in the street? We don't have any factual information on that.
I do not know.
The chief's on his feet.
And as the chief is coming up, Larry, you had stated, though, even though with the petitions they were exempt, they did not have to get the petitions.
Not exempt. We felt we need to go ahead and at least bring it to council's attention because of the circumstances. Correct.
Okay. That's what I'm more concerned with.
There's a judgment call on there.
That's what I'm more concerned about than having the 15 signatures you need.
In regards to the accident, it would involve juvenile information, so we can't disclose that.
What kind of information?
Juvenile information.
Can you say anything in terms of whether there was, not revealing personal information, but whether there was a charge?
No.
Whether anyone was found at fault or not?
It's very clear by the Juvenile Court Act and the reforms that we can't release any juvenile information or reports involving juveniles.
And, yeah, that was just confirmed by the Attorney General's opinion. We sent a denial which was, in fact, appealed to the Attorney General. They said it's a very difficult question. They sent us a notice saying they need an additional 30 days to make that determination. So we have gotten confirmation that that's what they want us to do at this point, up to, until they give us further guidance.
Well, I hope Pastor Linda and the wonderful ministry and people she serves at Heart of Hope feel a little bit safer from the work we did tonight.
Well, we have to have a precedent where we don't just say everyone that wants a stop sign get one, or we'll have one on every block like the mayor said. So we have to consider, we have to have some reasons for doing it. And if we don't say that the people around have a say, I think that's going to just send a bad message and make it where we're going to be doing 10 of these a Monday.
Okay.
You also have to remember, not that I'm opposed for this one by any means, but sometimes, once again, the people, even with the signatures, is those people that live there now have the signatures. As people move and everything else, the new people may not want one there. I mean, once again, so we do have to be careful.
And then they can come to council and ask for it.
We're open for business at least twice a month.
So, yes. All right, so let's do roll call.
Wait, hold on.
We may want to change the motion.
No, he doesn't.
Can't. We'll just fail to vote.
Can I?
Go ahead, Dylan.
Thank you. How fast of a turnaround can we send out letters to the neighbors requesting a response? Larry, do we do that?
Yeah, and Larry, if I could jump on this, I don't think that we typically, well, never mind, you answer this, but I think typically that we call on the residents who are petitioning to do and acquire the signatures.
We've done both ways.
We've done it both ways. Yes. Okay, good to know.
Is there any way that we can either include that in the information that we, like for example, the Linda Sargent emailed me directly, and I just forwarded the request along to Randy, who then gave it to you or the PEC. Is there any way that we can, just as standard operating practice, include a response saying, we recommend that you circulate a petition? Do we do that currently?
I'm fine with that. I mean, there's no issue as far as a standard operating procedure to require a petition in these matters.
Yeah, just perhaps if we let the residents know that that would be a good idea, if that's what the council is going to expect, just because I didn't mention that to Linda at all in my response to her. I said, well, I'll forward this along to the TEC, and then, staff takes over from there, basically. So, I am personally not opposed to approving the stop sign tonight. I think when you have accidents, it is good enough over the petition, but if the rest of the council would rather we postpone and send out letters and get a response from the residents, that's fine for me too. It's just a matter of timeliness for the residents that live there.
So, Mayor, I'd like to call the vote for the original motion, please.
We done with discussion over here?
I'm done. No, I'm not.
Okay. Go ahead.
Okay, thank you. I lived in the duplex right across the street there in the late 60s, early 70s, when it was a doctor's office. And I believe it was Dr. Fields' office, okay? Now, that was the days of hot rods. People have flown up and down that street from when they get off 17th Street, headed that direction, and coming down through there. They hot rod. They go too fast, okay? And they have. Well, now you've got even more traffic there with, Mrs. Sargent's thing. So we do need some kind of traffic control there.
All right. Roll call, please.
1 minute, please. Okay. Alderman Spargattis.
No.
Parker.
Aye.
Shipp.
Aye.
Geenan.
Aye.
Clark.
Aye.
Mayberry.
Aye.
5 ayes, 1 nay. Motion carried.
Item 20.
Report from the Traffic Engineering Committee regarding requests from Friendship Manor. There are 4 requests, so we're going to take them one at a time. A, for the installation of no parking signs on the south side of 21st Avenue from 12th Street to 75 feet east of the Villas driveway on the 21st Avenue Hill.
Motion to approve the installation of no parking signs as recommended. Refer to the city attorney for an ordinance.
Second.
Moving to second. Any discussion?
Yes, what is the penalty for parking there if there's a no parking sign? How much is it?
I don't know.
We'll have to check. I think it's $25, but I'm not sure.
If it's a private property, they can set their own price, can't they?
Well, this is on the street. Yeah.
No. $25 is for downtown parking, because I know I've gotten one.
Well, that's downtown, but this is in the neighborhood. Reason I asked, our church, Olivet Baptist Church, we have functions that go on there, especially here lately, a lot of funerals, and people do park there. I don't want these crybabies coming to me screaming that they got a $25 ticket for coming to a funeral. So I believe we need to look into that. Somebody, if it is $25, then we should be voting on a $25 ticket. If it's $50, we should be voting on whether that's going to be a no
Or,
park.
Virgil, there could be an agreement when there's a funeral, we stay away.
But do the police officers
No,
know
there
that?
could be an agreement when there's a funeral. We could write something up where they don't issue tickets. That seems to
Is
be
that correct?
I don't know
Chief,
about that.
I don't believe so.
Can you? Well, we do it for Augustana College. When Augustana College is moving in, we give everyone a break.
Yeah, but that's Augustana College, okay? We're talking about a Baptist church.
And that we know about ahead of time, so it's easy to coordinate, so.
If you knew
I
there
think
was
the difficulty would be in, we know that there's something going on and that we're given some sort of direction not to take enforcement action, but
And
we're
my
not
understanding-
going to know otherwise.
Well, wouldn't a full parking lot give you a clue? I mean, when the church calls to say, hey, we're having a funeral, and also saying, we're going to call the police department, this is the time of the funeral, is that something that you guys would just say, you know what, we'll be a little bit lenient during this funeral?
That's not my decision to make, really. I mean, that's up to
Whose
the direction of
decision
the
is that?
council as to whether we're going to enforce it or not, and if there's going to be a waiver for certain events. I don't know if it's a funeral or if it's a birthday party.
Yeah. I think we can make a waiver for a funeral. Virgil, I'll work with you on that.
Or we can not approve this request. I mean, is this request required for this package of requests here?
No, each one of them, I believe, are individual.
Right.
Correct. Correct.
So
And Permar is the one that writes most of these tickets, correct?
I don't know if they write most of the tickets or not, but Permar is also responsible for writing traffic.
Right, we have a contract with them to write the tickets. And this girl does a real good job.
Alderman Maber, I think you flagged a very important issue. I don't think there's any rush for us to vote on this tonight. I would recommend we postpone this to our next council meeting, get some more answers, because I think we should before we set off a whole chain of unintended consequences here.
And I'd like to see us to explore those exemptions for funerals. We do it for move-in days, you know? Okay, so do we need a motion to postpone?
Can I chime in? If you want to postpone the vote, that's council's prerogative. But I think it,
Right, I understand that.
And redo.
Right.
Yeah.
So the person that made the initial motion, if they would,
That was me.
thank you. So if Alderman Geenan would make the motion to withdraw.
I make the motion to withdraw.
All right. You want them to withdraw the second as well?
And I make
And withdraw who seconded?
Spargettis.
And if you would withdraw your second, Alderman Spargettis, please.
Can we let Spargettis say what he was
Discussion?
wanting to say
Yeah,
before
we'll
we
have
start a
discussion.
motion?
Yeah,
On
just
the new
withdraw.
motion.
On the new
We'll
motion.
We'll have discussion.
On the new motion, yes.
I'll withdraw my second.
And then I'll make a motion that we postpone this item till our next meetings. That will give us the time in between to really explore all the options on the table and to think innovative and find a way to do this
That date would be October 22nd.
for the October 22nd.
No,
And
is that for item A only?
Yes, and for having council members involved in that process.
We would need a second on that motion if that's.
So I'll second that, and then there's discussion.
Yes, that's correct.
Now we have discussion.
All right. So I just wanted to make the reason for that request, as I understand it, clear to the council. And we have, by the way, a group of residents and staff from Friendship Manor here tonight. If you want to raise your hand so we know where you are. Thank you for coming tonight. Item A was requested, to my understanding, because when you are either walking back and forth between the main facility and the villas, that the newly built villas on the south side of the complex there across 21st Avenue, or whether you're driving a car in or out of that property, either of those driveways, if there are cars parked on the hillside, you can't see around them. Your line of vision is obscured, and so it becomes a challenge if there's traffic, and there is traffic from the high school and from other normal traffic that use 21st Avenue. And it also especially becomes challenging in the wintertime when cars can't stop as quickly as they do. And if I'm leaving something out, by all means come up and add something if you would. I just want to make everybody understand.
You need to sign that paper or put your name and that on there too.
Okay.
But you can respond then, yes.
And I also understand that there are buses from Friendship Manor coming in and out that have a hard time making that turn out of the driveway onto 21st Avenue. Again, especially more difficult in the wintertime.
Yes, actually, that was just what I was standing up to say, is that our buses are pretty big, and they're full of our residents, and especially in weather, when they go to pull out, depending on how people have parked there, we have a bus driver here with us, actually. Sometimes they have to, stop and recalibrate to even get out of Friendship Manor. But I think the main concern is that our vulnerable residents who walk back and forth daily for the meals to the kitchen, they're crossing that street a couple of times a day. And it's kind of scary for them when they step out from behind a car and here comes a car down the hill and they've experienced having to step back. So we just don't want our residents to get run over. It comes down to that.
Thank you for clarifying that. So that's all I had to say. I just wanted to be sure the council understood the reason for the request for item A.
All right. If we can then step aside. We need to take a vote.
Can you read the motion again, please?
Alderman Geenan made a motion to postpone until October 22nd to explore all options for the request.
A second by you, Mr. Spargettis, I believe.
Yes.
Okay, we had discussion. Would you like a voice or just a roll call?
Roll call, I'm doing.
I'm going to do roll call, please.
Alderman Spargettis.
Yes.
Parker.
No.
Shipp.
Aye.
Geenan. Clark.
No for the reason of not wanting to postpone it.
Mayberry.
Aye.
4 ayes, 2 nays, motion carried.
Okay, let's postpone. Item B.
For the installation of 2 stop signs on 12th Street, north and southbound, at its intersection with 21st Avenue, resulting in a 4-way stop.
Move to approve the request as requested and refer to the city attorney for an ordinance.
Second.
Moved in second. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Alderman Spargattis.
Yes.
Parker.
Aye.
Shipp.
Aye.
Geenan.
Aye.
Clark.
Aye.
Mayberry.
Aye.
6 ayes, no nays, motion carried.
Item C.
For the painting of 3 crosswalks where there are existing ADA ramps, 1 at 11th Street and 21st Avenue and 2 at 12th Street and 21st Avenue.
Move to approve the installation of 2 crosswalks as recommended and refer to the city attorney for an ordinance.
Second.
Moved in second. Any discussion?
Just a comment about why 2 crosswalks instead of the 3 that were requested. The third crosswalk was between the ADA ramps at 21st Avenue and 11th Street, and the Traffic and Engineering Committee stated that that has to be approved by the Illinois Department of Transportation, and that they have communicated with them. So, Larry, am I correct that we'll receive that information when the Illinois Department of Transportation gives you something on it?
That is correct. We're just waiting on a response from them. And then once they approve, we can proceed, move forward with putting that crosswalk.
Thank you.
Sure.
So are we kind of jumping the gun at voting on this tonight?
No. No, I think we're fine to go ahead and vote on the 2 that we can do in-house, and with the contingency that the third would be done upon the approval from IDOT.
Okay.
Thank you, Larry.
Sure.
And roll call, please.
Alderman Spargattis.
Yes.
Parker.
Aye.
Shipp.
Aye.
Geenan.
Aye.
Clark.
Aye.
Mayberry.
Aye.
6 ayes, no nays, motion carried.
Item D.
D, for the installation of crosswalk ahead signs wherever appropriate at all 3 crosswalk locations.
Motion to approve the installation of crosswalk signs for 2 crosswalks as recommended and referred to the city attorney for an ordinance, please.
Second.
Moved in second. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Alderman Spargattis.
Yes.
Parker.
Aye.
Shipp.
Aye.
Geenan.
Aye.
Clark.
Aye.
Mayberry.
Aye.
6 ayes, no nays, motion carried.
Item 21.
Report from the mayor regarding an appointment to the Preservation Commission.
Motion to approve the appointment as recommended.
Second with the name of the person.
Yeah. I was waiting for the second.
It's the Mayberry rule. The name has to be read.
It's Addison Kimball. Kimmel.
Wonderful
Addison
candidate.
Kimmel.
Wonderful candidate.
So, yep, that's the individual. Roll call, please.
Don't need a roll call.
Oh, oops, I'm sorry. Looking at the wrong one. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Thank you. 22. Other business.
I just wanted to make, I guess, express some appreciation to the person or persons in the city Public Works Department who puts together all the maps and the overhead views that help us look at requests. The quality of those is generally excellent, and it's good to look at them. And I also go out and go on site and look at the actual intersections, et cetera, but we rarely recognize whoever that is. So if you could pass that along, I appreciate it.
And I'd just like to make a mention, I know we already experienced it tonight, but I think it's really worth noting that 25 people tonight that are members of this community that call Rock Island their home, that love to live in Rock Island, received awards for the gardens that they have, for the food that they're producing, and on top of that, for the community that they're creating. This is just another example of how Rock Island is being intentional about being a welcoming and an inclusive community where all of our members are assets and no one is a deficit. And I really hope the paper picks this up. This was a really good night for us to celebrate the diversity and the culture and what makes this community a proud place to live in. Thank you.
Yep. And the committee that worked with them. Plug in, I guess, for Unplugged. Nothing to take away from the concert and everything else, but you know, it's an opportunity for people to ask questions, understand what goes on at City Hall, gives the department directors an opportunity to express what they do and what they're working on. And so I really encourage people to show up at this. It's nice to have everybody in the room at the same time. You know, you don't have a chance very often to be able to talk to the public works director or the library or the whatever. And so this is a great time for people to ask questions in a multitude of avenues and find out what's going on. So I just can't emphasize that enough. And it doesn't have to be just for Rock Island residents. You know, there's a lot of good input that can be from other cities, other people that have a concern. We want to fill the establishment. So with that, is there anybody else?
Yes, Mr. Mayor, if we could have Chandler come up, please. I've talked to other aldermen, too, pertaining to this, and I'm glad the people from Friendship Manor came up tonight. The second ward is Walmart site. Chandler, could you tell us anything? I get dozens of calls, people at the grocery store wanting to know, well, what are you doing with all those millions of dollars sitting down there that's full of water now because it's rain? Can you tell us anything? Are we going to get a grocery store down there? Are we going to deal and build a junior high down there? There's all kind of rumors in this community, and I believe you would be the person, not Randy, more so. Tell us something, even if it's a lie.
I would recommend that you abstain from that.
I withdraw.
Got nothing to say.
But tell us something, please.
A new junior high, I do not know about that.
Okay.
I'm not privy to those kind of conversations. I know that we have been, the mayor, city manager, and I have been trying to beat the bushes as much as we can on the site. It's a gorgeous site, 23 acres. It's already leveled, the whole shooting match. It's right there to 9th Street and 11th, two major feeders going north-south, control intersection that possibly could come in the middle of the site. So it's wonderful.
Is there just no interest in supermarket and retail?
Hard part is really getting someone to make the commitment. It's going to be a lot of money to put a new facility in there, whether it be a grocery store or it be a big box or it be a bunch of small strip center with small shops within it. And can they justify that? And can you do enough pre-leasing? Most developers, before they even put the first shovel in the ground, have most of the property already pre-leased, meaning that they know that, okay, I've got this many people signed up, this is the rent roll, the bank will fund them. And so finding the right developer with the right development is going to be difficult, in the right mix. So we have been working. The mayor actually has been bringing out his own Rolodex and seeing what he can bang out. City manager's been, asking me how can we make this go forward. We did have the retail, or the grocery study done, and the results were actually very favorable.
They didn't give us anything, though, right?
They gave us the ability to talk to them pretty much in their own language with their own demographics and what they like. It matched up with a lot of what they wanted to have. So it gives us a better story to tell. Does it mean we're actually going to get one right out of the chute? No. But it does give us the ability to talk to them.
I guess my question was in terms of retail or supermarket building being in demand, because we just saw what happened with Kmart saying there's no way for retail, but we're going to be doing U-Haul. So in terms of trying to market that land, is there just not an interest in supermarkets and retail right now?
Well, it boils down to supermarket and Kmart, two totally different types of retailers. Kmart dealt with clothing, tires, whatever.
So is there a need for supermarkets then?
Well, according to the study we had done, yes, it fits the parameters and the demographics, because a grocery store is one time a week, maybe 2 times a week visit, and that's what they're going for. That's what they want to see, and that's the driver. When you have a large development like this, and you have a driver like a grocery store, where you're getting one time, 2 times a week traffic, the others show up. The pad sites, you put a restaurant there or a bank. So it's 2 totally different types of the retail spectrum between Kmart and a grocery.
Okay. There is still retail being built. There's still brick and mortar being built. There are retailers moving in at places. As much as we talk about the Best Buys leaving, the Toys R Us, et cetera, doesn't mean that everybody is and that is never going to happen or is dying. H&M, for example, opened up in North Park Mall. I talked to Von Mars this weekend, and they're building more stores. They're opening one in Minneapolis. So they're building brick and mortar. Different types of stores, don't get me wrong. But I'm saying is there is brick and mortar being built. There are retailers still looking to grow. We just haven't found the right one yet. So we got to keep turning those rocks over. I don't want to give up. Okay. I really believe that we can find it. We just need to have the patience for it. Randy and I are going up to Chicago next week for the ICSC retail deal like we did last year to keep pounding those rocks and seeing what we find. But I'm still convinced, and I'm not saying I'm an expert at it, but I'm convinced that it's out there. If you read the magazines, you read the stories, there still is stuff being built. It's just finding the right name in the right part of the country and the right type of store. So I'm not ready, at least I'm not ready to give up yet.
Chandler, as long as you're there, excuse me.
Yeah.
Is there any possibility of, instead of a big box store, which they're probably not coming to Rock Island right away, something smaller on the order of like a Tanger outlet mall with several small retail outlet businesses?
Yes, but not. I would recommend against an outlet mall. That actual business model and segment of the retail environment is shrinking, and it's very hard to maintain, as you see a lot of them going under. But looking at a development that has a number of smaller retailers within, or it could be an office, dentist office, a chiropractor, whatever, absolutely. The right retail mix is what's going to be critical for us. And we provide a lot of information that shows that we can have something survive, but it's that developer taking that step and having that pre-lease so he knows that he has a rent roll coming in the day he opens up the development. That's the hardest part to make sure. Once you get that, then you can start going.
And I read recently the occupancy rate on Blackhawk Road I'm blocking the name of the mall there, is maybe like 47% or something like that. Mm-hmm. So there is space available now, but it's not being filled.
Correct. And that, once again, boils down to location with any retail or real estate transaction. What are the drivers? What's the tenant mix? When Kmart was there, it was a driver. People went there repeatedly. So therefore, the rest of the mall had opportunity because there's constant traffic coming through. So is that going to continue to maybe have some vacancy? Absolutely. But there is opportunity, and it just matters how you're marketing it. What reason do you have for the retailers to come there? And that's where the brokers and the developers have to start being creative on that with the city's assistance.
But even with that mall, there's 2 new places that are opening up there.
Right.
There's a gym that just opened up by Interstate Battery, and there's another one there by John Taylor Salon that'll be opening up here within the next 30 days or so.
Rock Valley Mall, I couldn't think of that earlier.
So even that, there's some moving in.
Mayor, if I could just do one more to indulge in a story. Are we done with Chandler?
Yeah.
You can sit down.
Okay, thanks.
If you want. Due to the recent tariffs that we've noticed in this country on dairy, all of our food banks have been inundated with milk. And then they've had so the government has bought the milk from the farmers and it's going to the food banks. And Prairie Farms, which is donating their milk to the food banks. And our local food bank has almost, I think, what did I heard, 300% more milk than they currently utilize. So last week I pulled together a bunch of after-school providers in Rock Island, anyone working with kids in Rock Island, and this is just a testament how there's true grit in the city. We all pulled together, and it's going to end up being because this will be a 6-month issue, every single child in Rock Island District will be able to go home with a free gallon of milk for 6 months.
There you go.
That's
great.
So I think there are really good things happening in this community, and it involves the grit, the wisdom, the ability, and the motivation to really make a change. So I think that's just a testament for the good things we're doing here in Rock Island. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, we have one person signed up to speak. Vince?
Vince Thomas, 1021st Street. Well, I thank the City Council, and especially Alderman Janine pointed that out about the gardens. The mayor knows that a few days ago, I spoke to him about the need for a liaison with the refugee and immigrant communities. I beg your pardon? A translator. More than a translator, someone who can step in to be able to convey some of the problems that they are experiencing. For instance, let's take just the water problem. They knew they had a water problem during the summer, during the growing period, but somehow that message never got to you until tonight. And there should have been an easier way, earlier way of getting that message across to you, to the city, that they needed water during the season. Now, the season's over, and you're going to be thinking of a solution. Well, one incident that I was just introduced to that today was sometime in the summer, a grandmother who babysits her son's child, 2 o'clock early morning, decided she needed something, and she's living in the housing projects, and went to the nearby gas station to get something. Well, she was observed by a police officer and wondered if she was kind of lost. And anyway, I don't have all of the details because I was just told this afternoon, and I have some of the court papers here. She was taken to the police station. She was jailed, and the child was taken by DCFS. So you can imagine the trauma she went through while she spent the night in jail. Her children, her son, goes to the house after they got off their shift, and there was no answer. So they were perturbed, and then they found out from one of the neighbors that, oh, the police came and took her to the station. So, you know, why would that happen? Why should she have spent a night in jail? And why was her child taken by DCFS? Now she's on record.
Vince, what did she get arrested for?
Disorderly conduct. That's what it says on the paper. And then she finds out, her son told me this morning, her son-in-law told me this morning that DCFS told him and his wife, her mother, that she can no longer babysit any children because she had violated some law. And, you know, when she was released from the jail, she just had to go back on her own to her home the next day. So if somebody was concerned that she was lost, why wouldn't they try to find out where she lived, or why would they put them up in jail overnight? So I think there's some miscommunication that happens. This is one incident that I'm latest incident, but there are others like that because there's no one to convey the problem when it happens, and it gets carried into our system, and many of the people don't know the system and don't know where to go next. And how do you get that message across? As you know, schools experience a lot of problems. Basically, when 40 different languages are spoken, people, given a bunch of papers all the time, and they don't have anyone to help. And like you say, translators are difficult to get. I mean, how would the police station get a translator at 2 o'clock in the morning?
Yeah.
Or whatever?
So Vince, I think you're making a good point as you're wrapping up that we have a language access policy. Perhaps we could look better into what this language access policy is and a better way to serve our residents in that manner. So thank you for bringing that to our attention.
Right. Okay. Right. And it's not just the African refugees from 5, 6 different countries from Africa. We're talking about the Myanmar. We're talking about Cambodians, etc. Right.
Thank you.
Thanks, Vince.
So, thank you.
Okay. Item number 23.
Executive session, 5 ILCS 120, Section 2, C11. Litigation when an action against, affecting, or on behalf of the particular public body has been filed and is pending before a court or administrative tribunal, or when the public body finds that an action is probable or imminent, in which case the basis for the finding shall be recorded and entered into the minutes of the closed meeting. And 5 ILCS 120, Section 2, C21. Discussion of minutes of meetings lawfully closed under this Act, whether for purposes of approval by the body of the minutes or semi-annual review of the minutes as mandated by Section 2.06.
Move to go into executive session for the exceptions cited.
Second.
Discussion on it? Roll call.
Alderman Spargattis.
Yes.
Parker.
Aye.
Aye.
Geenan. Clark.
Aye.
Mayberry.
Aye.
6 ayes, no nays, motion carried.
Oh, boy.
Well, seems how are we in executive session now, or do we have to wait till they leave? So I can talk about something that ain't got nothing to do with it, right?
Yes, you can.
Yeah. Today, I go out to Milan and pay my bill at the auction, and here's these vehicles, and I wish Geenan was still here, from Fort Armstrong. These drivers, this guy, he's a driver for Friendship Manor, unloading all these people at Hy-Vee out in Milan to do their grocery